Catch Nassau Lions men's and women's basketball action live on Thursday night at 6. Come on, let's go Lions.
The voice of Nassau Community College.
Thanks for making us your number one preset again. Named Best Radio Station in the Beth Page Best of Long Island Awards in 22, 23, and now 24.
Available everywhere on iHeartRadio.
WHPC HD Garden City.
90.3 WHPC.
Down the left field line, is it enough? Gone! There it is! 62! Touch first, Mark! You are the new single-season home run king!
I'm not paid to be a role model. I'm paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Is it the shoe?
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
One of the world's most talented athletes is retiring. It is true what somebody said today. There was Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky in front, saved by Flaherty. The rebound, score!
Favre just threw it perfectly right over him to Corey Bradford. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Game on!
Game on!
That's right. Welcome to the midweek Wednesday edition of WHPC Sports Talk. Here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Joshua Umahi as your host on another Wednesday. Joined once again by Ross Levine and Devin O'Shea, the usual cast on Hump Day today. Woo! Apologies to our Facebook Live viewers. We're having some technical difficulties. What else is new here at Nassau? A great campus, but the internet not so much. Hopefully get the stream back up and running in a couple minutes here, but you know the drill. If you're listening in the car, on the radio, traditional radio, sitting at home, however you're listening, Odyssey, iHeart, however you're listening, nccradio.org for all my org.org goers. Y'all know the drill. 516-572-7440. Simple show today. Not a lot of topics, but definitely a ton of insight into some of the things that are going on. Going to go around the NBA at 4:30 after the promo break. Going to talk the NFL Peacock playoff stream, how successful it was, and what does that mean for future sporting events, huge sporting events. Could we see the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the World Series? Could we see that on streaming platforms and streaming platforms only? And also some coaching news around the NFL, NBA, baseball even. But where we're going to start...
Imagine the Super Bowl on pay-per-view.
I'm telling you, I was trying to tell people, and we played the clip of Mike Francesa complaining about it on last week's show on Wednesday. Like, yo, yes, it's kind of lame because major sporting events like NFL playoff games have traditionally been on cable TV. That's what it's been. But now you put it on Peacock, and I didn't know how successful it was going to be. Obviously, until we saw, I mean, I already had Peacock, so I watched it no problem, but 23 million streams on Peacock.
I liked it because in my room, I live in the basement in my house, and in my room, I have no cable. I could get cable, but I don't have cable because I just got my PC. So being able to just put Peacock on my PC and just watch the game from my room, I liked it, actually. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I mean, us new age people don't have a problem with that because we know how to get to it.
And you got my dad's like, how do you put Peacock on?
The older audience, it definitely had, I could see a lot more problems with it, but 23 million streams is 23 million streams. Like, that's no small number at all. It's actually the most streamed event in history. I didn't say NFL history. I didn't say sports history. That's history.
Making history.
The NFL just continues to run the world, but we'll discuss the ramifications of that history that the NFL made this past weekend a little later in the show. But we are going to start with the New York Knicks on and off the court. On the court, They did lose on Monday afternoon, 98-94 at the Garden. No Jalen Brunson in that one. Knicks fell apart in the fourth quarter. Obviously, they didn't have their number one guy out there, and the Magic are a tough defensive team. Tough loss, but you have a good opportunity on this back-to-back here tonight and tomorrow night, hosting Houston and Washington, respectively, tonight and tomorrow. So it's a good opportunity for this Knicks team to get back on track. There was also some big news. Well, compared to what we're going to get into, some decent big news on off the court. Quentin Grimes, the Knicks are reportedly, quote, actively fielding, end quote, trade offers for the third-year guard out of Houston. Quentin Grimes had a starting opportunity in the middle of last season, then at the start of this season, but Dante DiVincenzo's come right in, taking that starting spot, doing everything that Grimes would typically do, but at a better level. And Quentin Grimes, ever since they traded quickly, he has played better with the extended opportunities he's gotten. But
he has, yep.
Still, the Knicks are looking to improve the roster at any and all means. We knew that was going to be the case after they dealt Emmanuel Quickley and R.J. Barrett. So we'll see where that goes, and we'll circle back to that after this bombshell from or out of Madison Square Garden. Knicks and Rangers owner and CEO of Madison Square Garden, which is an important detail in all this, James Dolan, was named a defendant alongside convicted rapist and former Hollywood film producer. We all know Harvey Weinstein. Mm-hmm. We all know that name. It's not a good name to be associated with in 2024, but that's exactly where James Dolan finds himself. They are tied together in a lawsuit brought forth by Kelly Croft and her attorney, alleging that Dolan sexually assaulted her and trafficked her, sexual trafficking, in late 2013, early 2014. So over a decade ago. But the lawsuit alleges that Dolan pressured then 27-year-old Kelly Croft into unwanted sex on multiple occasions after she was hired to work as a massage therapist for a music tour headlined by the Eagles, not the football team, the rock band.
Wow.
Yeah, just to clear all that up. Sometimes you have to clarify for people. They don't know what's going on. Croft additionally alleged that she was sexually assaulted by Harvey Weinstein and that Dolan actually coordinated a meeting between her and Weinstein in January 2014. Now, Dolan is a blues singer when he's not, at his day job, owning the Knicks and Rangers and Madison Square Garden. He's a blues singer for the band JD and the Straight Shot, which was an opening act during the music tour headlined by the aforementioned Eagles. And we all know Harvey Weinstein. He's currently serving prison sentences of 23 and another 16-year sentence after being convicted of rape and sexual assault against multiple women. We know he's a scumbag. That's not news.
Yeah.
But this suit says Weinstein said he wanted to potentially hire Miss Croft to provide massages to actors on movie sets. If you know Hollywood, that's not a surprise. They're a little freak nasty over there. But Weinstein allegedly chased Croft into a hotel room, sexually assaulted her, the lawsuit alleges. Croft accuses Dolan of setting her up in that situation, stating, quote, James Dolan manipulated me, brought me to California to abuse me, and then set me up for a vicious attack by Weinstein. Croft did say that she told Dolan about the alleged Weinstein assault immediately after it happened. And Dolan has said years later, or did say years later, that he knew nothing of Weinstein's misconduct despite being friends with him.
Of course she's going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, if you... Listen, James Dolan, we know, obviously he has a lot of shortcomings as an owner. But, I mean, if you're friends with Harvey Weinstein, you have no idea what's going on, really?
He ain't telling you nothing?
Right. Not even like, hey, this is what I got going on. Open to interpretation, and then, we can wonder all we want, but only two people, as is the case in a lot of these cases, know what really happened in the room. Dolan's lawyer, Danya Perry, released a statement denying that Dolan sexually assaulted Croft or trafficked her to be assaulted by Weinstein. And Miss Perry said, quote, there's absolutely no merit to any of the allegations against Mr. Dolan. Kelly Croft and James Dolan had a friendship. Mr. Dolan believed Miss Croft to be a good person and is surprised she would agree to these claims. Bottom line, this is not a he said, she said matter, and there is compelling evidence to back up our position. We look forward to proving that in court. Weinstein's lawyer, Jennifer Bonjean, also released a statement noting that Weinstein vehemently denies these meritless allegations. I love court speak. And looks forward to litigating these claims in a court of law where the truth will be revealed. Well,
these words are too big for me.
Yeah, got to wonder about our target audience here. Well, Weinstein's lawyer, Miss Bonjean, I know you mean well as his attorney, but your client's in jail for doing the exact stuff that the lawsuit alleges. So I'm not going to hear it from you. But Dolan's lawyer did defend him, and Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, chimed in saying that, we're just going to wait until all the information comes out. And we've seen from past reports, Adam Silver and James Dolan do not have the best relationship. So, on the court, obviously these are very serious allegations, but on the court, we're going to wonder about how this is going to affect the Knicks. This is a serious thing hanging over the entire franchise's head right now, but James Dolan, I mean, we've all heard the wishes. Oh, by the way, happy 66th birthday to Tom Thibodeau. Nice. Bad timing, but happy birthday, Tibbs. Happy birthday, my guy.
Back to Dolan.
Yeah, right. So, man, listen. We're all, well, me and Ross are Knicks fans, Devin the Celtics fan, but Devin, I'm sure you have a lot of opinions on this. James Dolan has not been the greatest owner by any means. We know this. We've all seen the sell the team chants outside Madison Square Garden. That's what caused Dolan to bring in Phil Jackson.
And they're even louder now.
Yeah, exactly, which made them even worse. But now they're as loud as they can get. If everything in this allegation and this lawsuit is true, man, it's not just about failure to manage a basketball franchise or a hockey franchise properly. I mean, this is just you a scumbag on every level.
I mean, this is, and when I heard this, just hearing this news, I'm like, great. That's exactly what we needed when our franchise looked like we're going in the right direction. This is so what we needed. No, we did. This is not what we needed. This is actually pathetic because guess what? This is, players, I get it. They're not going to, there's no reason for them to sign their place to say anything, but it's going to be a distraction. Like, I have a bad feeling it's going to be a distraction because not only the fact that if you're just talking about winning basketball games, Jalen Brunson's not on the basketball court because he is dealing with this calf injury, which those injuries are tricky. But also just the idea of this is getting to their head, and I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a distraction, and it all goes back to, earlier on when players didn't want to come back to, didn't want to play to New York because they didn't want to play for James Dolan. So this just adds to that, and you just hope it's not a kind of we're not back to that where it was a few years ago where, you have guys like Kevin Durant saying the Knicks aren't cool and, those things. Like, you don't want to get back into that mode because that's where the franchise was, and it was rock bottom.
Well, I think this is a blessing in disguise. Obviously, terrible thing for Kelly Croft and everything that she allegedly went through, but I think this is a blessing in disguise for the New York Knicks because they gotten out. They finally gotten out because before this, if the Knicks were going to be a 4th to 8th seed even, James Dolan was never going to sell. But I think with this happening and all this unfolding in front of us, I think this is the out that the Knicks are going to get and out that the Knicks are going to be able to finally sell the team, and James Dolan will finally be out of New York, and they'll be able to trade for different trade pieces, and they won't have to worry about where his brand is towards or who his agent is. And it's they finally have a way to be able to trade for people and not have a barrier in between that. Like DeJounte Murray, Zach Levine, different players that wouldn't be traded to the Knicks just because James Dolan was the owner.
Yeah, now obviously I know y'all are attacking this from the basketball perspective because we have to, but this is...
I'm not touching that anywhere near that.
Of course, and listen, we know James Dolan is not the greatest owner, and you can question his values as a person. But anytime a lawsuit, and we have to remember that this is a lawsuit, it's not a criminal case. Dolan is not facing jail time if he's found guilty of these claims in any regard. But we've seen Adam Silver in the past, and I'm just talking basketball. I'm sure Rangers fans have some thoughts about Dolan as well. If you do, you can call 516-572-7440.
Braden's probably got a lot of opinions on it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, we've seen Adam Silver in a situation where the former Clippers owner, Donald Sterling, was caught on tape by his ex-girlfriend saying the most racist things imaginable about anybody, really, but specifically Magic Johnson. And he's one of the NBA's founding fathers. Like, you don't talk about Magic Johnson. So Adam Silver got him up out of here. He said, yo, you banned for life. You have to sell. I wonder if everything in this lawsuit, or most things in the lawsuit, check out and Dolan's found culpable in some way. And like I said, Adam Silver and James Dolan do not have the greatest relationship. James Dolan has actually sued the Toronto Raptors. We talked about the story way back when the story broke that the Raptors poached the Knicks' old video coordinator and was basically stealing their game tape. So I say that, and I bring that up to say, like, James Dolan sued Toronto directly instead of going through Adam Silver because they don't have a good relationship. There's no way that James Dolan would trust Adam Silver to handle that in a non-biased manner.
Well, if this ends up bad for James Dolan and we get some more information that this is allegedly not allegedly and it was real, do you think that with when the Clippers all took the jerseys off the root in the center of the court just in unison, are the Knicks going to do something like that, like all union together and go against James Dolan like that? And do we, like, I know, like, the Clippers, that was a more, how do you rate these on a scale?
Let's just avoid doing that. I know what you're trying to say, though. Yeah.
So, did the Knicks do anything against Dolan like that, like, and in support of Croft? He's like, these are what these players are representing, this owner right now, and they don't want to represent someone that's doing stuff like this.
That's the thing, and that's the interesting thing, and I'm happy you brought up the Clippers protests because, yeah, we could say, oh, the players only care about wins and losses on the court, but nah, it's not that simple. Anytime the Knicks players or the Rangers players put that New York across their chest and they're playing in Madison Square Garden, which James Dolan owns. He's the chairman. He inherited from Charles Dolan. We all know the story. Like, you're representing that man who owns that franchise. So I'm sure if you have any morals about you, I'm sure you would have some second thoughts and feel a little disgusting. Again, if these allegations are true, that's the thing. Like, anytime it's a he said, she said, I hate that phrase so much. You have no idea.
His agent, his lawyer, actually said that this is no he said, she said situation, and that it simply didn't happen.
Well, I mean, what do I expect James Dolan lawyer to say? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, from a hockey standpoint, I mean, obviously, I know the owner's the one that's paying, signing off on these players, I guess, but can you body check Dolan? If you're from a hockey standpoint, because my goodness, this is that's embarrassing. I mean, they have a commercial on radio, body check those symptoms from Dave Maloney, who does the radio game. Can you body check James Dolan? I mean, this is ridiculous, especially when the Raiders are having, like, from a Rangers standpoint, everybody says, oh, this is the best team since the Cup team. Oh my goodness, well, this takes a huge hit if this is a distraction.
I have some interesting audio to play. This is about to be this audio clip, lyrics from James Dolan's 2018 song, because like I said, he is a songwriter and a band member when he's not at his day job.
He would be.
Right. These are lyrics from James Dolan's 2018 song, I Should Have Known, about Harvey Weinstein. Let's just run this real quick and let's decide for ourselves how this affects this current case.
We were friends.
Let's just stop right there. You're friends with somebody that's currently serving a 23-year sentence, and when that's done, he's going to serve 16 years for being the biggest Hollywood creep we've ever seen. We were friends. Let's keep it going.
Talk for hours without end.
Oh, right. Talk for hours without end, but you had no idea what he was up to.
He ain't telling you nothing?
No. Talk for hours without end, though. This is the most, like, I listened to this earlier, the most self-incriminating song. And we know, like, hip-hop culture, we see that all the time. These rappers telling on themselves in the music. But no, this takes the cake. Let's keep this rolling.
About his latest story, how to deal with fame and glory. All the girls who adored him catered to his every...
Oh, cater to his every whim? I'm sorry. Let's just play it all the way through.
Nothing he could lose. All he needed to do was choose. I should have known, I should have known, I should have thrown myself across his tracks, stopped him from these vile attacks.
What?
I don't know, man.
Is this song going to be played in court?
It should be. It should be. No, if they're going to play Young Thug's Lifestyle in court, I think this needs to be played in the proceedings.
Yes.
Let's keep this going. Well, why not?
I should have known, I should have known. I should have known, I should have known.
Not the worst voice in the world, I'll say.
Hey, James, I should have known about you.
Oh, well, this is important. This is important.
My brothers sitting on the very top could not hear the call to stop. Behind locked doors, the eyes of men who take what don't belong to them. From those who seek the bright and starry are threatened with, you will be sorry. I should have known, I should have known, I should have
All right, it's catchy.
myself across.
It's not bad.
Stopped him from these vile attacks. I should have known. We believed and didn't see through the lies he told us all.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Led him to his endless fall. I should have known, I should have known.
All right, so a couple things.
I'd rather take Chandler Jones's Belichick song.
Yeah, it was more of a feel-good song, you know what I mean? It had good vibes attached to it. First off, like I said, if that don't sway you in a direction where, I mean, that one line, we talked all the time or whatever it was.
We talked for hours.
Talked for hours on end. Bro, come on. Like, and this is the unfortunate thing, because as much as I hate James Dolan just for, you know, being a bad owner, on top of him maybe being a scumbag, like, I hate this for the players and everyone in that organization because, first off, the Rangers last year did very well, flamed out in the playoffs a little bit, but did very well. This year, again, they're at the top of the standings in the Eastern Conference.
They're on a little cold streak as of late.
They're still up there, though.
But they're still up there. Still.
And they've won their last 2 games. So
they have.
Yeah, so they played, you know.
It was a short stint that they were very iffy.
Yeah, right.
And so there's that. And then here's the Knicks, who, after that OG Anunoby trade, have gone 6-2. And things are looking, things are looking up. It's all orange and blue skies, like I was saying last week.
One loss without Brunson.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows if they beat 7-1? Mm-hmm. I think they beat the Magic with Brunson, but
in the Garden.
Garden. Oh, without question, on Martin Luther King Day.
With Randall shooting how he did against the Magic, you add Brunson to that, they win that game.
Absolutely, and I just feel bad for everyone, not just the players, but these two franchises. And here's where it gets so dicey too, because James Dolan, say he's forced to sell within the next year if all these allegations are found true. He also owns Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
The
he's
Knicks,
not going anywhere.
The Knicks is a separate thing from Madison Square Garden. If he's forced to sell the Knicks might have to move from Madison Square Garden. That's why this is so... It's messy. It's just messy all the way around.
It really is.
It's ridiculous to think about. And that things are looking up for both franchises, but because of a man's selfish actions, allegedly, he's not going to sue me. He's not going to get me. Got to throw that word allegedly in there. Both teams kind of find themselves in a state of flux right now. We do have a caller on Sports Talk. Caller, what's going on?
Hey, this is Josue.
Josue.
I should have known he was such a bad guy. Jesus Christ.
known.
Yeah. Josue, your thoughts on that song? Because I want to know what the listeners was thinking while I played that.
That's so self-incriminating. It's like, come on, man. You're just putting it out there. Like, at this point, might as well not have a trial.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, like these rappers telling themselves unprovoked, but this guy put this song out. Remember, 2018 was the big year that all them allegations were coming against Harvey Weinstein. So
yeah,
I maybe it was a guilty conscience why he put that out, because he did say they were friends. They talked for hours on end. Bars, by the way. Bars. But, yo, I don't get it. Like, I thought, because I remember hearing that. Because when James Dolan sucked as an owner and Phil Jackson was here, I'm like, the Knicks are a comedy show. Let me just focus on everything going on around the Knicks. So I do remember that song when it came out. And that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, oh, if I remember the lyrics the way they were presented back then, ooh, we in trouble.
And it's coming back to him.
Yep.
No, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's like, why? Why?
This dude spent hours in the studio making, shaking this up. Like he put effort into this.
It's just embarrassing in a way. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I just kind of thought it was funny.
Yeah, nah, it's just, again, the allegations aren't funny. And I know you're not saying that, Josue, but just the self-snitching.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on. Nobody put a gun to your head and told you to put that song out.
Got him in 4K.
Got himself in 4K. How did they catch you in 4K? This is the clearest video I've ever seen.
Good luck on the show, guys. I'll be listening.
Absolutely. Thank you for the call, Josue. If you too want to call listening, wherever you are, 516-572-7440. If you want to see our faces, our beautiful faces. The Facebook Live is now up and running, so you can run the Facebook, search up WHPC, and catch us there. Well, got a couple minutes before break, but I just want to reiterate a point I made earlier. Like, James Dolan owns Madison Square Garden as well. This pisses me off, not just because, like, I hope that this Kelly Croft, who was 27 years old at the time, like, I'm about to be 27 this year. Like, I couldn't imagine going through something like that, something that embarrassing and traumatic. But, like, if James Dolan is forced to sell, I don't even want to know how messy it's going to be if the Knicks have to move from Madison Square Garden. First off, from a selfish standpoint, I'm going to have to give up my 100 section seats every single year at Madison. Like, let me stop. But that's something, like, when a guy as powerful as James Dolan gets in trouble like this, and these allegations are true, like, it trickles all the way down to the fans.
He holds all the cards right now. He really does. He knows what happened.
Yep. No, he should have known. Maybe you do know.
And like he said, like he told his lawyer how he was shocked and upset about how when he found out about the allegations, because he apparently found Kelly Croft as a friend and a mutual when they worked together years ago, and was like kind of heartbroken that she would agree to these allegations against them.
And when a lawyer says that, they're basically saying that, yo, this is a money grab. Don't even worry about this. That's all this is. It's just a witch hunt. That's rich people's favorite phrase, witch hunt. They can just forget and throw all the allegations against them under the bus. Oh, witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. We've seen it all the time. So, yeah, this is the alarming thing, right? Because in the notes that I read earlier, Mr. Dolan believed Miss Croft to be a good person. Like Devin said, he's surprised that she would agree to these claims. We look forward to proving her wrong in court. But for Dolan to say that he knew nothing of Weinstein's misconduct,
I should have known. I should have known.
Right. Now, I don't claim to agree. I mean, I don't claim to know everything about my friends. But you have some idea of the kind of person they are. Mm-hmm. Harvey Weinstein terrorized young women in Hollywood for years, for decades. That's not typically something you can keep under the rug, especially from your friends. So I'm looking at all these notes, and I read the lawsuit because I'm a nerd. That's what I do. I read lawsuits in my free time. But like, yo, James looks crazy right now. Mr. Dolan, I'm not even going to call him by his first name. Mr. Dolan looks crazy right now. And I just hope that this doesn't get to a nasty point where, like I said, the players are affected and the fans are affected. Because no matter what we want to say about how likely it is the Knicks and Rangers win a championship, like, both franchises are kind of on the come up. Both teams have young talent, and I think most would say they're a piece or a couple pieces away from real contention. Both franchises. It's just sad that this is now hanging over their heads. But
does the Knicks phone stop ringing because of these allegations? And do you think other teams start to shy away from trading with the Knicks just because of these allegations?
I actually don't think it's that deep. James Dolan, I know he's one of the worst owners we've ever seen, but there's a lot of bad owners out there. I can name 10 off the bat. I'm not going to do that, but it's in the NFL. I think every owner in the NFL is a bad person in some regard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's not stopping players from signing with that franchise. I think that, it's unfortunate, but, money talks, and if the Knicks or, a team with a bad owner shows them enough money, it's not going to matter.
They still have, if we're just talking about on the basketball court, they have a good culture, the Knicks.
Yes, they do.
They do.
That's without question.
So, I don't think it's going to be too much of a big thing in terms of trades. I still think the Knicks will make another trade. They have to, because as much as, they're incomplete. Their roster's incomplete. So you got to make something just from the roster standpoint. But from a mental aspect, this is concerning in terms of it being a distraction. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, right away, the first few games, they're distracted by it. It wouldn't shock me. You have to kind of see how it plays out. But that also goes back to Tom Thibodeau as well, because getting the players to not being too distracted by this, having the focus more on the basketball games per se. So, but I think Tom Thibodeau is a good enough coach where he will do that.
Happy birthday!
Happy 66th birthday, Tom! Shout out
Tom Tibbs. 500 wins.
Yeah, one of the greatest Knicks coaches ever. Which how much does that say about the Knicks?
Yeah, we don't have a very good history.
No, we do not.
It's
Mike Woodson.
Shout out.
The wood. The wood.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So we'll take a break on Sports Talk. When we come back, we're going to go around the NBA. A lot of action. Just 3 games, but a lot of action last night. Trust me. Plus, we will get to our NFL's playoff Peacock stream conversation on the other side of the next minute here on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.